Good morning, class. We're about to start our session for today. So I have a couple of housekeeping things I want to talk about, and then I want to make an announcement. I need you all to take notes and make sure you are paying attention. Today's lesson will be very important. It's going to be a mini lesson and a continuation on some things that we need to be aware of and to be looking out for as we get into tax filing season and all that kind of stuff, getting our stuff done. Now, the first thing I want to say this morning is I've been having some problem with the bros. I don't know what it is. They want to come around here barking and doing all that hopping and jumping and stuff, and I ain't having it today. I don't have time. So, yeah, if y'all see me pull this out, yeah, I'm gonna need the bros to sit down. Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to sit down somewhere. Go get in the dog cage or something. Okay, so that's my first announcement. Second, and most important, I want to make you aware that Wednesday, February the 12th at 7 p.m., we will begin our 8-week cohort on Tax Talk. The registration link will be posted on Saturday, February the 15th. So be on the lookout for that. If you would like to register for that in-depth session, then you make sure you go to the link, okay? And I think I'm going to try to limit it to about 30, 35. I'm not sure. It depends on how much interest I receive for it. I may open up additional slots for everyone, but I wanted to get that out there to you so you would know about that. So, okay, let's get started. So we were talking about our last class. We were talking about, things that we could do to safely file our taxes and things like that, okay? Being safe, blah, blah, blah. So today we're going to talk about information that you need to file. Okay, so the first thing is, one of the frustrating things about being a tax accountant or a tax professional is that people come to you and they don't have their documents together. We don't want to do that. I'm here to teach you to do better. Okay, so we're going to do better at that part. So the first thing is, gather your information and get your stuff together. Okay, we're going to start with the Social Security number. So, one thing I don't think a lot of individuals know is that taxpayers who don't have or aren't eligible for a Social Security number, you can still file your taxes, but you have to do it with an individual tax identification number. We call that an I-10. So if you ever hear the term I-10, that's what we're talking about. That's a person who doesn't have a Social Security number, but you still have to apply for it with the IRS. So, you still got to go through them people to get one. So don't wait till the last minute to get it, okay? One of the other things you need to make sure that you have as far as your documentation so that you're prepared are your wage and income information. So those are W-2s, wage and tax statements, and any of the Form 1099 series. Now let's talk about this 1099 series thing, because income is a lot of things on a 1099. We consider that gig income. That could be a 1099-G. If you over there gambling over there at the Georgia lottery or one of these states that have lotteries and you win, you're going to get a 1099-G. And you got to report that because that's gambling earnings, okay? That's income and it is taxable, okay? 1099 NECs for doing contract work, non-employee and receiving non-employee compensation. Also 1099 miscellaneous forms. 1099-Rs, retirees receive 1099-Rs, okay? So that 1099 series is very important. Pay attention to that, because if you got a 1099 anything, it's going to need to be reported. Oh, and here's another big one. For everybody who be thinking that they made a negotiation or whatever with their bank because they got into a situation and they need to set up an arrangement with the lender to reduce the amount that they owe on their car or on their furniture or on their whatever. So the bank or the lender agrees to let you pay it off at a lower amount. The trickery in that is they may do that. So if you owe $10,000 on something and you negotiate an agreement to reduce that payoff down to $5,000, Be looking in your mailbox to receive a 1099-C, as in Charlie. And that C is a cancellation of debt. That's what that C means, okay? So if you receive a 1099-C, that's considered taxable income to you. So the portion that the lender forgave you and said, oh, no worries, you don't have to pay that. We'll reduce it down and we'll let you just pay it off for $5,000. Baby, they're not giving you anything. What they're doing is they're writing off that $5,000 that they're forgiving you for as a bad debt or uncollectible item. And then they turning it over to the IRS and saying, we canceled $5,000 of debt on Henry Charles. And the IRS going to say, well, that's a forgiveness of debt. So that's considered taxable income to you. It's a whole plethora of things that go on with the 1099 series. But just be careful. And be careful when you're out here negotiating buy downs and payouts. Just be careful because that's taxable income. Okay. Moving on. Excuse me. Dependent status. I'm trying to be here for a good time, not a long time. So I'm speaking a little fast, so bear with me. I'm sorry. Dependent status. So the taxpayers, you as a parent or, head of household or whomever, you need to know if another taxpayer, such as a parent, plans to, file the dependent on a separate return. This is most important if it's a situation where there are dependent children, right? There's a divorce, there are dependent children, or a separation and there are dependent children. And you have to figure out, okay, who's the custodial parent, who's going to, because the custodial parent doesn't always have to be the person that claims the children on their tax returns. There could be an agreement where the custodial parent allows the other parent, particularly if the parent pays child support and things like that, they can come to an agreement that the other parent can claim the child, but both of you can't claim it. You can only claim one Social Security number, okay? So just make sure that you know that nobody else is claiming your dependents, on their tax returns. Also, if your dependent has worked and earned income, and they have had federal taxes or state taxes withheld, they can file, if they're 16, over the age of 16, they can file their tax themselves. However, they must select the box, or the preparer must select the box that states that they are being claimed as a dependent by someone else. Okay? Make sure you know what your children doing if they're trying to go file their taxes, because it could get you all messed up. Okay, next, documentation for all tax credits and deductions. So, okay, with the standard deduction, sometimes itemized deductions might not be necessary because most people won't qualify for itemized deductions because the standard deductions have been raised so high. However, all credits and deductions are subject to IRS verification and review. You may not have had to review anything for how many ever years you've been filing taxes, but you may get, swept up in a random audit or something like that. Just be prepared to have proof and show proof of any deductions and credits that you are claiming. Okay, so also the AGI for prior year or a self-selected PIN. Let's talk about that for a second. Taxpayers need this information to validate and sign an electronic tax return. So if you have a authorized tax preparer, taxpayers don't have to sign. We sign on your behalf because it goes under our credentials. So, but in case you doing it somewhere else, then you would have to have either your prior year AGI or you would have to have a PIN number. For first-time filers that are over the age of 16, they can enter 0 in their prior year income to sign their tax return. For taxpayers who have filed before, you should use your AGI from your prior return, okay? And that's to verify, who you are. Bank account and routing number. So if you are eligible to receive a refund, then you're going to need that information, okay? And And I already talked to you and kind of told you all about the, the importance of, direct deposit. Let's talk about AGI for a second, and this will be my last point for today. We talked about AGI, which is adjusted gross income. That is the total gross income from all your sources, all income sources, minus certain adjustments, student payments for student loan interest and things like that. Those are adjustments, right? So AGI can be found on line 11 on Federal Form 1040, okay? And standard deductions, standard or itemized deductions, can be found on line 12 on your Form 1040. Those are two key pieces of your tax information that you need to make sure that, you know where to go to find it and know and understand what it is. So that's kind of give you a little bit of the importance of the AGI, okay? So that's our session for today. I hope it was informative. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I will see many of you next Wednesday, hopefully at 7 p.m. on the U to the Tube. You can register. The links will be posted here on the TikTok, as well as on our other platforms. But yes, we will be, yeah, I'll send you the link, and I hope to see you then. Y'all have a great day.